everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cage's Coaster Reviews. And today, we're reviewing the original hypercoaster, Magnum XL 200, located at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, United States. So let's get into it. Stats are up first. Height is 205 feet tall. Drop is 194.7 feet. So about 194 feet and about like 8 inches. I don't know. Manufacturer's aerodynamics. Length is 5,106 feet of track. Duration is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Angle of descent is 60 degrees. It is a type sit-down. There's a steel sit-down coaster, and it opened in 1989 as the tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster in the world. And it was so big that it actually started the Coaster Wars, where a bunch of parks competed to build the tallest and fastest coaster. And obviously, this is not the tallest, fastest, and the longest in the world anymore, because there's actually a lot more that are taller, faster, and longer, but it's still pretty good. Alright, theming. I did not understand what Magnum meant, so I looked it up, and the definition, two of them that I thought could be the theming of the ride, like, one of them was a type of gun, which might be, I don't really know, and the other one was a type or thing that is larger than normal, and since this was a lot larger than normal back in 1989, I think that's what they were going for with the theming. But there's really not much. The station is kind of like, I don't really know what that is. Like, it looks more like a futuristic station, as you see, but not really heavily themed. No theming in the ride or the queue. Not very good. Not very well themed ride. Alright, so my opinion. I think I gave Magnum a 7 out of 10, which is pretty good. It's definitely going to make my top 10 roller coasters I've been on. But this is a very controversial ride. You either hate it or you love it, and I'm one of those people that love it. I think it's just as good as some of the B&M Hypers. I mean, yes, it is a lot rougher than the B&M Hypers, but I really don't mind roughness. It's got a lot of airtime. I love the airtime. Best seat is probably the back row, so it's a lot more intense. The drops a lot longer, and the airtime will be increased. And I really, really love this ride. Probably, let's say, 5th best at Cedar Point. But if you come to Cedar Point, you have to ride Magnum. Alright, so now we have the ride experience. Let's skip this lift hill, because lift hills are boring. No one wants to watch a lift hill. Alright, so 194 foot drop. Pretty good drop, not the best. And then you go up this huge floater airtime hill. Slight turn to the left, and you drop again into a tunnel. First of 3. Come back up to a little floater airtime hill again. And then you turn around in this little 3/4 of a helix. And then you go through another one. Come back up into a second of 3rd tunnel. And then it's just a bunch of airtime hills from here. Slight turn to the right. And yes, the back row is definitely the spot to ride on this coaster. A lot of airtime. A lot of very good floater airtime. That's some ejector hills right there, those little ones. So, a mix between floater and ejector. And you're done. Pretty fun. Alright, so some similar rides to Magnum. First up, we got Titan at Space World in Japan. As you see in the top right, this is the other Aero Hyper, and it's very, very similar to Magnum. Alright, and then we got Desperado at Buffalo Bill's Hotel and Casino. And that's on your bottom left. And this ride looks really fun. I really love this picture right here. As you can see, the ride wraps around the hotel, and just the POV looks great. I mean, it does look a little rough, but I think it's another aerodynamics. I don't know if it's a hyper. I know it's pretty close to a hyper. It might need to be like in the 190 feet, 180 or 190. But this looks like a really fun ride. And then we got Phantom's Revenge, formerly Steel Phantom. It was Steel Phantom when it was manufactured by Aerodynamics, and it had like 4 inversions, I think. It's very intense and a little too intense. That Morgan, another coaster manufacturer, took over, took out the inversions and made it because it was too intense. But it's still pretty close to Magnum. Alright, so that's gonna be it for today's review. Thank you all for watching, and if you want to see the last video, click right here on Millennium Force. And if you want to subscribe to my channel and get more notifications for my next videos, click right here on Top Thrill Dragster. We'll see you next time on Cage's Coaster Reviews.